Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Geddes Federal Savings and Loan and Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, and that means you are too, if you're within the sound of our voices. We are Tom and Steve from Zoey Advertising, and this is The Local Show, broadcasting from the Zoey Advertising studio, sponsored by Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. We're also on YouTube. You're not giving away a mug this week, Steve?
I'll give away a mug this week.
Okay, go ahead.
So
how do you get the mug?
So go on YouTube, like and subscribe.
So you have to
go
look
to Zoey
up
Advertising.
Zoey
You see it every
Advertising,
week. We're getting, I don't know, we're adding like 10 people a week or whatever
Absolutely,
it is.
sure.
And the videos are getting a lot of replay. So when, like we got Joe Bright up here next, so then that's shared on the social pages, and then people can see what they heard.
Right, exactly.
And it really is. People get to peek behind the curtain.
It's astonishing that people come back. Yes,
it is amazing. So go on there, leave us a note. Say, hey, how do I win a free mug? Whatever. Let us know you're there.
Yes.
And we've got the Zoey, not this one I'm holding up online.
The broken one.
The broken one.
The thing you
this
broke.
Is the one. So not this one. A better one.
I don't know how we broke.
Did I break that, Tom?
I don't know how.
Yeah, I broke it.
You picked it up.
No, I broke
it. Fell apart or something.
I break things. It's what I do.
Fun. All right. So don't break Geddes Federal Savings and Loan by any means. Tell me a little bit about them.
Well, they're here. And they and I love the Zoey team. Really, you, Tom, put together a spot. We did a creative brief. We talked about some different things, and everyone has been on the end of that. 1 for this, 2 for this, 3 for this, and you just want to hurt yourself by the end of it trying to get a real person. They are here. They are local. They are real. You call over there. Hey, can I talk about maybe I want to take some money out of the market, or it's not moving, and put it into a CD and get whatever the rate is because I'm a little nervous, or I want to have some cash.
Yeah.
Have a conversation. What's the rate? How's it work? How long has it got to be? Have a real conversation, not some faraway lender. And that's happening a lot, and people are actually doing that. It's good timing. Because I don't know, if you look, the market's not doing all that great. Right. If somebody wants to move some things to cash, they can help you there, get you a good rate. But you have a real conversation with a real person. People are still buying houses. Brad here on the staff, he was out looking at houses this week.
Good.
I know he's got a pre-approval through Geddes.
What's wrong with his van?
What's it? Well, the van down by the river, and that's a good one, Tom. So if you want to talk to someone about those things, absolutely talk to the folks, Brian, the president, and the team over there at Geddes Federal Savings and Loan.com, Tom.
There we go. It's our pleasure to have back on the show Joe Bright. He is the owner of Duncan Bright Furniture, multi-generational business. How are you there, Joe?
I'm great, Tom. Good morning. Good morning, Steve. It's good to see you guys again. Brad bought a house. I bought a house since I've last seen you. So I moved in 3 weeks ago to a home in Liverpool. So
nice.
Yeah.
088 or 090?
088.
Okay.
088.
Yeah, right. That gives you the.
Is that the good one?
Yeah.
I don't know the difference.
I don't know either. I've only been there a short while.
You're closer to the village at 088.
That's correct.
Okay.
And you're out in the weeds with me at 090.
It's very nice. A lot of times I've strolled, and I know how to stroll, Steve. I looked it up on YouTube. And, I've strolled around the lake and looked at those houses, and I imagine that you're over in that area where you could probably see the lake, right?
Yes.
I'm just guessing.
One of my favorite parts. You can see the lake from our house. So
yeah, that's very
really nice. If it's somebody from out of town that I'm telling about living on the lake, I don't tell them about the history of the lake at all. I just say we bought a house, it's close to the lake, and they think it's
impressive.
Skinny Alice.
Skinny Alice, right? Yes.
Well, the fishing is amazing.
Yes, you were saying you don't eat them yet, but
no, and there are people you can eat like one every 5 years or something.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. But and I don't eat. But the population is amazing of the fishing. If you look out there on a summer day, you'll see all the bass boats lined up. They have little tournaments.
Tournament.
Tournament. Thank you, Tom. And it's beautiful. Finally.
Well, what I was going to say is, as I'm strolling, I think of the history. And back in the days when my grandparents were floating around and your grandparents were floating around, that was just the beautiful place to walk when it was clean and you could go around there. And those houses, probably one of the houses you're in, they were the creme de la creme.
Have you seen the photos from like the 18?
Yes, I have.
Where they had the resorts?
Okay, I
Yeah,
haven't
it's just
seen those.
wonderful.
No.
Onondaga Historical
Society.
They have
yeah,
resorts at the end of the lake by Willow Bay up there.
Yeah.
And you'll even see the pillars, some of the foundation work. If you walk around that walk.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there was the carousel.
Right.
That was
in Destiny.
Went to Roseland Park.
Yeah.
And then came back. The one, it was there. That's where it started.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yes.
And I'm a fan of history.
It's a rich history. It's
Yeah,
a
you
very
You
rich
have so much
history.
to tell me about Liverpool history that I don't know.
I can fill it in.
Yeah.
If you can I love history. If you can combine history and fishing, I'm good.
Well, tell us a little bit about your history, Joe. Like, how long has your business or your family been in this business, and then when did you join?
Sure. So we've been in business 96 years now. We were started in 1927. I joined over 5 years ago, moved back from Los Angeles, and started working for my dad and trained underneath him. And he retired in 2020. So I bought the business from him January 1st, 2020. It seemed like a good idea
Great
for
timing.
2 months. And then, we were forced to close. And it didn't seem like a good idea. But then what people may not know is that home furnishings and anything related to the home actually took off during the pandemic because people are spending more time in their home. So then it seemed like a good idea again. And things are going great now. And we opened a second store last year. So
when you were a little boy, you were around the store a lot, right? So
Yeah.
you saw how they operated and how you...
Name something you broke once and got in trouble.
man,
He's a good kid. He would never.
No, I'm sure I broke something. But what I remember is...
You never started anything.
This isn't going to make anybody want to shop there.
That's
but
okay.
But I was cleaning out like an attic, and I came in contact with a bat. I had to get a rabies shot.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, how's that for
that's
for
interesting.
getting customers in the store? Right?
That's
But people want to know who you are.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So what'd you do in Los Angeles, by the way?
I worked for a medical device company.
No kidding.
So, I was I went to business school at the University of Virginia, took a job out of there, went to LA, lived in Orange County.
Good golly.
And did contract negotiations for a medical device company.
And you're a young guy now, so you were in your
I was even
early
younger
20s.
then. Yeah. I was even younger then, I guess.
That's something else. What a great little history, man.
Now you dragged your dad back in a little bit here, didn't you?
Oh, I've hired him back twice. So he's retired 3 times. I hired him back both to open new stores. Well, okay, so when we closed for the pandemic to open the Legacy store, I brought him on board, said, help me get the store open. We had laid off 75% of our staff. We brought them all back, and he helped me with that. And then when we opened the new store in Great Northern, I hired him for that too.
Right.
And he's since retired again. He always lines it up with the summer months up here.
Yeah.
So he's smart, is what you're telling me.
He's smart. Yeah. It's mutually beneficial.
So you said the Legacy store.
Yeah, the
tell us
original
about
store,
Tell
yeah.
us
South
the
Salina Street.
Right. So were you always there? What's the history of the Legacy
Yeah,
store?
we've always been there. When the store was founded, it was across the street, and within 5 years, it had moved to its current location. And my grandfather, my dad, really built it out. They bought and tore down vacant buildings.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
There's a lot of vacant buildings in Syracuse. He bought. They don't look great. Bought them, tore them down, added onto the showroom. So that store, because of that, it's kind of like a labyrinth. Tom, he's been there many times.
Yeah, I've been there.
So and Steve as well. And then there was no central plan. So that's, this part of the building, what used to be a restaurant, this part of the building was 13 homes that, so it's kind of windy and you can't see the whole property. And then our new store, it's how Macy's did retail. You just walk in, it's 90,000 square feet, all wide open. You can see everything. So,
I like the surprises at the Legacy store. Like when you walk through, you're like, and here's this. It's kind of fun.
It's got like a lot of nooks and crannies. It's fun. Yeah. If you were a little kid.
And it's more, I don't know if this is the right word, but intimate shopping experience. You can, instead of, being that wide open space, people, they like thinking about their homes, and their homes have walls, so it's kind of more realistic to be in a room shopping a vignette instead of a wide open showroom.
Well, we've laid a little bit of the foundation here with Joe Bright. No pun intended. Actually, the pun was intended. He's the owner of Duncan Bright Furniture. We were talking about the Legacy store. We're going to talk about the new store, and then we'll talk about my personal experience. I was just up there buying a bunch of stuff before the holidays, along with my father-in-law. So we'll talk about all of that with Joe Bright, owner of Duncan Bright, right here on The Local Show. Stick around on 570 WSYR.
Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Gettys Federal Savings and Loan and Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. They didn't kick us out or lock the doors, so we are here. You've got The Local Show. Thank you for spending your quality time with us. Hopefully you've decompressed from the holiday. I did take down the decorations.
You did it.
Yeah, and when I say I mean the family.
That's right. See, if you put these things off long enough, other people do them, Tom.
Yes.
That's what I do with my work with you. I just I put it off long enough. So did you walk into the house and it was done, or did you really participate?
I didn't really participate. My wife, took down the tree and everything. I was busy doing work, and then I got an electrical problem in my daughter's room that I told you about, and I've been working on that for 2 weeks. I can't figure it out.
No.
I finally had to call Joe Scrippa and see if he had an electrician for me. So.
Well, yeah. Well, that's got to be hard for you because you can figure things out.
I can, and I'm really angry because this is just a real gremlin, if you will, and I can't figure out why the breaker keeps tripping.
Right.
So anyway, I let them do all the rest of the stuff while I was.
So things are away. The boxes are in the garage, attic. Where's it all go?
Basement. And, a lot of it we'll just throw out. No, I'm just
buy it new next year.
Buy it. Yep. And believe me, I've said that.
I went up to Mom's and I needed to put her tree in the box.
You didn't throw Mom out, did you?
No.
Okay,
it was a bag. She was like, goes in the bag. I'm like, okay, this shouldn't be that hard. Here's the bag. Here's the tree. There was a certain folding on the There's a certain way to do it. So it's in the bag.
Good.
It's in the bag. I don't know that it's going to survive, but it's in the bag.
It's a live tree in the bag?
No, it's not a live tree.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, you don't want to keep the live trees in there.
Yeah. No.
We've been talking with Joe Bright. We're going to continue that conversation. Joe Bright is the current owner of Duncan Bright that he bought from his father, and his father and grandfather were in the business forever. If you've ever shopped there, you know that it's a huge store over there off of Brighton and Salina. And then they have another location that is just absolutely looks like the Taj Mahal of furniture stores.
Thank you. That's a very nice endorsement. I think we're going to use that in our marketing.
There you go.
Yeah.
You can't miss it. You go down 31, you drive,
Get this. You ready for this?
Yeah.
It's the bright spot on Route 31.
You can't help yourself.
You guys are just your money with these.
Oh, yes, exactly.
It's like it's what you do.
I can't call it the Great Nothing Mall anymore because he's there, I guess. But the mall's, that's going to affect you, right?
How will it affect you, do you think?
I don't know. So I don't know. I haven't spoken with Guy Hart Jr. So
Right.
I don't know exactly what the plans are or when he plans to close and begin.
We had him on the show not too long ago. We got to get him back on to talk about this thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what did he say? It flew me in.
He said he was the problem.
I was the problem that we're still there.
When we had him on, they hadn't made the transaction
That's
yet.
right.
They were talking more about Lakeshore Country Club,
Got it.
and
Okay.
so now we need to have him back on to give us the scoop here.
You can fill me in.
I see a lot of cars. Good traffic at that store?
Oh, at the Clay store, it's been fantastic traffic, and we usually have enough parking. There's 802 parking spots. That's usually enough. But no, traffic's been fantastic. It exceeded what I projected in opening the store. So that area is just growing and growing and growing, and we've got customers every day. Customers come in and say, "Oh, I was driving all the way down to South Salina, and now you're in my neighborhood."
Right.
Or I didn't go down because there's other options up here that we didn't have to go all the way down to Syracuse.
So how long before you start painting everything green? Because this is what happens.
Yeah.
So when's that start?
There's this whole. Are you of real Irish heritage?
I mean, look at me, Tom.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the.
He got a sunburn.
I'm getting a sunburn from
The fluorescent bulb burned the poor guy.
Yeah, the moon will give me a sunburn.
Well, you've met my father-in-law. You could hear the brogue probably.
Yes.
He's very quiet, but he still has a brogue.
He's fantastic. He's he's one of us. So, it's definitely Irish. The skin and the bad hair should give it away. But we celebrate St. Patrick's Day as long as possible, 6 weeks.
Sure.
It starts right after President's Day. We deck the store out in green. People know it around town because we're serving free Irish coffee, free wine, free champagne.
Wow.
We have Irish step dancers come into the store and perform. Lowest prices of the year. It's a big party. So I've done ice sculpting, a guy with a chainsaws carving a shamrock into ice out in front. I've had
that's really cool.
Guys bagpiping.
Whatever.
So is it trickier with the two locations because you got to like share the people, or the bagpipers just play really loud so you can hear it?
They are so loud. God, I might not have them back just because you come in and if people don't expect it, they're right in front. So it like blows people out of their mind. Yeah,
that's funny.
Wakes them up if they're not awake. But yeah, we've done all sorts of stuff, and it'll be a big party again this year. Bartenders, free drinks are always a big hit. So
how is your supply of furniture? I mean, when I went just recently, folks, before the holiday, we got a kitchen set that Joe helped us out with, and what else did I get? I got a kitchen set. Oh, and a coffee bar. My wife wanted she calls it a coffee bar, but you can fit wine bottles in there and everything else. So we got that, and then my father-in-law bought a bunch of stuff. What did he get? He got
I thought he was getting a sofa at one point. Yeah,
and all that. And Joe was nice enough. He comes right out on the floor, introduces you to one of the design experts. They're not salespeople, so to speak, right? They're kind of design.
We've got designers
sales.
On staff. It's been a big positive of our store. My grandfather hired 6 designers they've been with us 35 years. So then I've been recruiting out of Cazenovia College. That of course
for the time being,
end, but but they've had an interior design program.
Yes,
and we've recruited graduates and kept our design pipeline.
Nice.
So people study it. For 4 years in college, and then they're professional designers, and it's a service we offer to our customers.
I know you have a dog in the hunt. But how are you different than lots of furniture stores? I mean, there's
other ones. There are other ones.
You turn on any device anywhere and you're getting all these furniture
bombarded,
stores. How is it different?
Sure. So number one is selection. We've got the biggest two stores in New York State. So my dad always would say, if you have a big enough store, you can show the customer enough options that they don't have to go other places. So we bought the biggest properties we could find, and that means we have the best selection in New York State. And then number 2 is price. We do not get beat on price. I know people love us because we're local and I'm friendly and all these other reasons. We support the community, but if you're like me, if it's the same good, you don't want to pay more somewhere else. So we just make sure we have rock bottom pricing and do not get beat there. And then, third, not in any order of importance, but we are local and family owned, and people do like that experience instead of shopping at a chain.
And it seems that your people are like part of the family too. It's not like there's these layers of management where you come rolling in your Mercedes or Rolls Royce, and stuff like that. And there's nothing wrong. It's weird. It's a weird dynamic that sometimes I think people like to buy from people that they know are out there working just like they're working.
Sure, I'd agree with you.
Yeah,
and I'm giving my cell phone out multiple times a day. Sure. Like you said, I'm on the floor, and if you have any issue, it's my name on the building. So I want to take care of you if there's any issue or if you need anything, even if it's just saying hi. And I see people around town, so I want people to have a good experience.
Right.
So,
Well, it's beautiful properties, I think. What do you see moving forward? Would you ever extend your product line to beyond furniture? With new technology, I guess, I don't know where I'm going with it. Maybe, televisions or sinks or
a lot of furniture stores do appliances.
Yeah, stuff like that.
So I could talk for another 7 minutes about buying a home, and none of the appliances work. Right. So I got to buy all new appliances.
I hear you.
I don't want to say anything negative about that industry, but it was not as fun as buying furniture.
No,
it was a chore.
I agree.
Yeah, everybody in there was kind of sad because obviously they're in there because something broke. Right. So I don't have any plans to, Tom. And
no, that's a great. There's a feeling when you're buying furniture. It creates a feeling, and it's home. When you buy a refrigerator, maybe
it's almost like a Bic lighter.
I gotta get.
It's a chore.
Thing. Yeah,
but furniture and cars, I don't know. People are in a great mood. It's a good atmosphere, and they're having fun doing it. So no plans currently.
Okay. Well, I think you do a wonderful job, Joe, you and your whole staff. That's Joe Bright right there, a bright young man, owner of Duncan Bright.
Can you, Tom?
Up there in Cicero. At the new mall thing that we don't know what's going to happen to it. And then, of course, over there on Salina Street and Brighton. Thank you so much, Joe.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Steve. Always a pleasure chatting with you.
All right. Have a great rest of the day. Coming up, we're going to talk with Lou Burke. He's the owner of Admiral Canvas Company. Stick around for that conversation on The Local Show on 570 WSYR.